like you and I could actually we could really maybe fix all of the world's problems in just like a freestyle Google Hang for 8 hours. I really do.
I think so. 8 hours would be awesome. Okay, we're live. I'm Chris Lyon with the Louisiana Film Prize. I'm here today with the director of the film He Could Have Gone Pro, McGhee Monteith. McGhee, welcome.
Hello, world. Hello, Shreveport. Hello, Chris.
What's up? What is up?
Dude, what is up is just like nothing but sheer excitement to see you guys and head down to Louisiana and hang and watch all these amazing films, man. I'm so excited.
That's great. Well, and I want to start off with the audience kind of giving them a little background here because this isn't the first time that you've been around this year. You were the winner of the Memphis Film Prize, which had its inaugural year, and the festival was like a month ago? Is that?
How is that possible? But yes.
5 weeks? It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
It really doesn't, especially for me, because I am still like riding the waves of euphoria of that weekend. It was so much fun and just life-changing and mind-blowing. So yeah, we're like right over a month of that. And I get to come do it again. It's just magic.
That is so awesome. Well, I will say that the competition up there was certainly stiff. This competition down here is a completely different animal, so I hope that you're ready for it. It's going to be something different. And not just for the films, but for the festival itself, which, for those of you who don't know, starts a week from tonight, actually. Thursday, September 29th, we have our opening party at the Music Prize at Voodoo Cafe, and then we show films Friday and Saturday after that in venues downtown. But it's a much bigger, like Memphis, again, we were starting off with that this year, so we kind of kept it small and contained. But man, you're in for a treat. Dude,
I am so excited. And I also need to point out, I feel like I want to look at you in the screen, but I'm looking at the webcam. So everybody's like, who is this crazy Memphis director coming who's got the darting eyes? I guess I need to focus in on the webcam.
Well, I do the same thing, and I think that that's just like a factor on the interwebs today, you know?
Yeah, we were talking interwebs, all the interweaves and interwebs. But yes, I know. And that is, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine between like you and Gregory and Sabrina and all the fun folks and all the great filmmakers that were in Memphis. But I have heard tale of the kinds of things that the Louisiana Film Prize is made of. And it sounds like nothing short of dreams and magic. And so I am so excited. My husband, Jameson, who's my composer and overall kind of better half and, you know, anchor is coming along, and we are both like prepared with our party pants on, because I know I have not been to Shreveport, but I've been to New Orleans. I've been to all other places of Louisiana, different spots in Louisiana, and y'all know how to party. So I'm gonna bring some Gatorade and some excitement, and I'm gonna be like trying to keep up with you guys.
Absolutely, and I was hoping you would get to the party part, because
yes, check.
Like, it's not a film prize party without being like this tequila soaked nightmare dream, whatever. And I will say, like, Gatorade is great, and I tell you, all the Louisiana people are gonna cheer when I say this, but Pedialyte is the
Pedialyte.
That's
wonderful.
The rehydrating. I mean,
would like a modest IV be frowned upon? Like if I'm just like wheeling around an IV of like electrolytes and fluids, and also handing out, you know, like stickers and prizes for film patrons.
I think it's funny because I've seen these clinics where you can go and get like IV fluids, and it's like
those are real.
The internet, like in the international part of the airport, and I'm like, this is a thing people do apparently. But maybe we should get some of those.
Maybe they could be a sponsor next year, one of these companies.
Well, I don't want to get people waiting too long, so let's talk about your film. First off, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about what it is about. Give us the log line, and give us a little taste.
Sure. So as you said, I directed He Could Have Gone Pro, but I also wrote it. And He Could Have Gone Pro is a story about a girl, Debbie, who I also play, who is coming home for Christmas. And she's coming with her boyfriend, Lamar, and she's going to see her mother, Gail. And Gail is played by Cecilia Wingate, who everybody is in for a stellar performance by. She was nominated by Louisiana Film Prize as Best Actress, and she is a killer actress. And she plays my mother, and she's hosting Christmas lunch, and her daughter Debbie's coming home, and you know, they're doing very much of the Southern just Christmas ritual. But there's a certain unspoken family truth and secret that has happened, that is shared in their lives, that they kind of dance around until they can't. So it's a very much, I've described it to some people as a Southern Christmas kitchen table story.
That is a mouthful, but it's accurately
10 times fast, and you will get a free pass. Like, come to me, find me at the Louisiana Film Prize, say it 10 times fast, and I'll give you a free pass.
That's awesome. All right, challenge accepted.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about the circumstances of your filming. So obviously, this film, because it was a part of the Memphis Film Prize, had to be shot in Shelby County, Tennessee, right, which is where Memphis is, and that's not too far from where you're from in Mississippi, right? Yeah,
so I'm originally from DeSoto County, Mississippi, which is 20 minutes from downtown Memphis. So we're very burby in that Mississippi. I describe to people kind of like the Newark, New Jersey, New York City line. Memphis is like our big brother, big city. So, you know, Memphis, I'm kind of a half and half. I feel very connected to Memphis and very much Mississippian. My husband and I live in LA. I've been a working actress for most of my life, and got into writing professionally about a year ago, and decided that there were stories, if I was writing for other people, then I wanted to tell my own stories too. So I started, this was my first stab at doing that and directing it. And I think that, you know, it's very much for me been where there's a will, there's a way. You know, I just told myself I had a story to tell, and it was an important story that I wanted to tell. And I just kind of put out a blast to people I loved and trusted. And we shot He Could Have Gone Pro in one day, sunrise to sunset. And we just, because of incredible filmmakers and the incredible Memphis crew, I mean, anybody that has a Memphis story that they want to tell, or a Southern story, y'all, come on, pack on up and come up to Memphis, because the crew is outstanding. Ryan Earl Parker was our director of photography, and the film would not look half as beautiful as it does without him. So it was really, it took a village, and I could not be more proud and appreciative of our final product.
That's awesome. And certainly we'd love for people to kind of try things out. I mean, we're still kind of in that place where we're trying to figure out what Memphis is. And so I'd be really interested to see where people kind of come with that in terms of choosing to go up there, choosing to come down here. Of course, we're down here, so but we come up a lot. It's kind of either. And I'm glad you guys had it. I mean, and it is for being shot in a day. I'll tell you, because I remember you telling me that story. And
nobody believes it.
No, not nobody believes it. I mean, guys, it's like what, 11 minutes or something, and it's
13:09.
Oh, 13. So
I have a tattoo of 13 minutes. No, I don't, but I should.
Because I mean, 13 pages in one day.
Yeah.
It's a massive undertaking, even with one location, which is, you know. So tell us a little bit about how you found your acting partners. Were they people that you did a casting call for? Did you write these roles for them? How did those people come about?
Sure. So Cecilia Wingate is someone who is just a monster talent in the Memphis theater world. My roots are in theater. I'm a big believer that when you have great actors, film and theater are just different mediums. It's just having a professional that knows how to kind of, alter. It's like surgery. You're either having surgery with a scalpel or surgery with a laser, and if you have the great talent, then you're able to properly direct kind of those different levels. So for me, theater is such a great resource for filmmakers to really be able to kind of suss out that kind of talent. So Cecilia was someone who I've loved and admired and been a friend and mentor to me for a long time. And I knew I wanted to write about, as great Memphis commercial appeal, John Bife was called Gail's character, Bless Her Heart Mother, which is a very good description of this character. And I knew that I had to have an actor that really kind of understood this world and this kind of human experience lived in this character. So I had Cecilia in mind when I wrote it. She's been doing amazing amounts of work of theater in Chicago. So it was kind of about working around her schedule, but she read the script and was interested. And then I auditioned the role of Lamar, which is played by Stephen Garrett, who's also a phenomenal actor. And that one I did audition and wanted to work locally. My husband and I basically split our time between Mississippi and LA. We have a spot in LA, but I always say I love to create in Mississippi, and I love to kind of sell and do the work in LA, because I write my kind of point of view. I write a lot about the South. I love being Southern. I love the rich storytelling and the rich history of that. Just those colorful people that we can tell so well. And so I'm inspired when I come here, and so I really wanted to kind of work from that framework of the immense talent that's in this part of the world.
Absolutely. It was shot in a day. You had some really wonderful talent. You had the wonderful crew. Won the Memphis Film Prize, which, we said it when it happened, but you're the first woman to win a film prize, and which is really exciting too. And
yes.
Say like this year, there are at least half. There may even be more than half of the films that are in the film prize this year are either directed or produced by women, and it's just
yes.
It's an amazing statistic, and it comes as no surprise to us in the office how talented everybody is. Whether it's women or minority groups, and it's just not so represented in the film world, unfortunately. And so congratulations for winning and for representing. And that's pretty amazing. It's not an amazing feat because it's you did the work and you're an amazing, talented person. But it is something interesting, from an industry perspective and a cultural perspective.
Right. Yeah. I was so excited about that fact, and I'm always, here's the deal for me. And as a woman and a female filmmaker, I'm very much one of those people who I want great people to have the opportunity to tell great stories. I think diversity is something that this industry has really needed to address for a long time. And I see it as not, oh, let's check some boxes of what we're doing. I see it, no, these are wonderful stories with these really important points of view that need to be told. So it's just having that opportunity to have that trust and that space to do that. And, I always think from my experience with Hollywood and filmmaking, on an independent level, it's different, but I see a lot of my mentors and people I respect, like, Kristen Wiig and Tina Fey and those people. I think that the strategy of showing the industry and giving the industry, making them more inclined to give money and greenlight these projects is through their pocketbooks. So when you have films like Bridesmaids that work, and you have shows like The Girlfriend Experience and Nurse Jackie and these things that are these female-driven stories, and you put up these numbers in this world that says, look, no, we make money, we work, and people are interested. And it's one of those things that it's a shame it's taken us this long, but I consider myself really grateful and blessed to be living in a time where I do have, women still definitely have to work. I do believe twice as hard. We have to tell, better stories. We have to, there's so many wonderful stories, but we have to just work, I think, much, much harder and continue to keep that level of work up just to even be considered. So I am so excited about that statistic and fact that the film prize is stacking some ladies, because I think female-driven stories are, we're 50% of the population, and, those stories matter. So I'm really humbled and excited to be the inaugural woman to win. It's really a privilege and honor.
Absolutely. And that's, and you said it, it's just about telling good stories. And that's part of why, the statistic is nice, but really what's nicer is having really good stories.
Right. And like getting to a point where we're not even thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, we're just telling good stories, and that's the world I want to live in. We're just surrounded by that.
Exactly. So I want to get back to the production side, or rather, let's maybe post-production.
Okay.
Once you finish your film, you had a very short window to complete the final product. Talk about maybe like who you worked with in post-production and how it evolved from the initial cut or the raw footage even.
From like, here are some hard drives, have a nice day.
Right, to completed
yes.
film.
Yes. So, and I'm very much a self-proclaimed, person. I'm a very story-based director and actor. I'm very into the story and with the story. I feel like I'm a good actor's director. I know how to kind of pull performances and do those different things. But Chris, as you know well, like the kind of file sharing, world mixing, things. I think people have different skill sets, and I'm a believer in things that are more difficult for you. You find great people who do that well, and with Google and the internet, you can learn things. So I always say I was a religion major in college. I've gone to film school on YouTube. That's kind of how
You're a religion major?
I was, man. He could have gone pro. Watch, he could have gone pro. That'll all kind of come full circle.
That's an interesting perspective to like enter into.
Yeah, well, I actually selected that because I was I was already acting professionally, and I was getting my degree, my degree kind of doing some online combinations, and a lot of the acting credits were in person that you had to be there. And so I was kind of looking at the different curriculum, and I thought, well, religion, I said, what can I study that can kind of connect me to people in the world and help me understand? Because for me, acting is just understanding people. Like I'd get a cup of coffee and go to a park and watch people argue, and I would learn something about acting. I thought, well, what can I be in a coffee shop anywhere in the world, and somebody's going to talk to me if I know something about it? And religion is the answer that ultimately worked for me. So yeah, so the religion major did not necessarily help me when it came to like sound mixing and editing. So, just some different referrals. My DP recommended me to an editor who put me in touch with this guy named Raymond Chu, who was our editor, and ultimately sound mixing. Everything was done in Memphis except editing. Raymond is in New York, and then the sound mixing was done by Music and Arts, which is a great studio in Memphis, by a guy named Daniel Lynn. And he mixed us all up and got the sound right. And then my DP, Ryan Parker, is a just overall baller in color correction too. So after we, like I said, we had our hard drives and we were on our way. We went to Ray for editing. Then we stopped off at Music and Arts for sound. And then we went, last but not least, to Mr. Ryan Earl Parker for color correction. And then the most important to me was my husband, who is a brilliant composer who really put just a wonderful sound to He Could Have Gone Pro, and a beautiful score. So that's kind of how that all went down.
That's awesome. So, in the intervening time, the film prize, Louisiana Film Prize contestants have had a period of time where they can continue to work on their film after. So, well, I guess I should go back. So the Memphis Film Prize happened the weekend before we announced the top 20 for Louisiana, for those who don't know watching. And so McGhee had to have her film finished, and of course it was screened, before the Louisiana films even knew if they were in or not. So, but there's been in this intervening time, so the top 20 filmmakers have had a chance to continue working on their film, as McGhee did earlier in the year. But, McGhee has kind of had a little bit of downtime, I suppose, in between the festival and the Memphis Festival and the Louisiana Festival. So what have you been kind of doing in that time? I mean, working, I'm sure, but what?
Dude,
the project board.
Storyboarding. I am in pre-production for my next short, man. I mean, I've been, I have had this wonderful luxury of a little more time. So I've been, I have amazing ambassador that has been helping me. And we kind of talked about our strategy and world for the Louisiana Film Prize and doing our share of marketing. And then, I've been in Mississippi, so I'm here, and I was so addicted and excited about this crew and what we made with He Could Have Gone Pro that I just jumped into the next one. So I'm currently in pre-production for another short film called Jesus and Jimmy Ray, and we shoot that. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't. There's like some filmmaker bug problem, but we have the LA Film Prize next week, and then I get back that week and we shoot just Jesus and Jimmy Ray October 8th and 9th in DeSoto County, Mississippi. I'm using the same director of photography, and we're just doing it again, man. So that's what I've been doing. That explains these dark circles if the viewers at home want to get a little closer.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're continuing to work on stuff, and I would have to, I would be remiss if I didn't say, I hope you have a project prepared for next year too that you're gonna bring to the table.
Oh man, yeah. But now I've actually got the bug. Like I kind of want to. I'm so excited about hanging out in Shreveport. Like I love you guys. I love the vibe. I love the energy and the spirit that's coming here. I truly love people from Louisiana. Like they're just always. My husband's whole family's from South Louisiana. He's a fiddle player. Like we're all about the kind of Louisiana culture. So I'm so excited about partying with you guys. And part 2 of that is I want to kind of check out like the shooting world around there. I mean, of course I did the Memphis Film Prize, but I'd love to shoot something in y'all's, area and designated area for the Louisiana Film Prize.
Our neck of the woods is the
Yeah, your neck of the woods. That's the Al Roker term to just totally just bring it all together.
That's right.
Why hasn't he like patented that? Like maybe he has.
Maybe.
Some man has been saying that for like 35 years, like 75 years, maybe a long time.
he's been around. So yes, you definitely need to spend some time kind of looking at the area, and of course you'll see all these films that shot here, and you'll have a chance to meet some of these filmmakers that have, and that's. But it's a like Shreveport and Memphis have very similar. Are very similar in a lot of ways. We have a similar music history. We kind of share / fight over Elvis Presley.
Oh, and wait, what's the thing about the donuts? He did his only commercial.
Yeah.
Was a donut, and there's something made. What is it?
Southern made donuts.
Super cool.
And you have to have one because they are the best donuts on the planet.
Okay, that's on my Shreveport bucket list. I told Jameson because I was like, I'm so excited about going. My husband's Jameson, and I was looking. I said, oh, this Elvis did his only commercial. I said, we got to go get this donut.
That's right. You got to go get the donut. And actually, there's one about a mile from your hotel, so you'll have to. So
do you think if I walked to the donut place, ate the donut, and walked back, it would kind of counteract the caloric intake? Like actresses have to think this way too, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you want to get one of the donuts and then you get a kolache, that should probably work out. Yeah.
I could be like the Subway Jared of the donuts. I could just walk from the Hilton and back with.
You can just Facebook Live it too on the way. You're just like,
Wait, Chris, that's my Louisiana short for 2017.
That's right.
Don't tell anyone. This is just between us. Okay.
I'll edit this out of everybody. We'll edit it out.
Exactly.
So we've talked about pre-production and casting, and we talked about production. We talked about post-production. We talked about festival. Talked about how excited you are and how you're going to completely wipe the floor with everybody in the Louisiana Film Prize too.
No. Hey, I am. What we haven't talked about is how excited. I mean, I'm just, all you guys are like kind of putting out there, but I've watched a lot of the other filmmakers' little hangouts with you, and I've read the little synopses and the trailers. I mean, there's just such a quality of work, and thank you guys for creating this cool platform where, independent filmmaking, isn't easy. I mean, it's not. And, going and sitting down and watching a Marvel movie is very different than like sitting down and watching something that people on their back, like ask favors, pull together money, borrow money, and do everything. So every single person that makes a film, like, is totally a hero in my book. I mean, it's so collaborative. It's you live and breathe it, and it really feels like your baby. So the quality of people that I see, I mean, there was an incredible Memphis quality in Memphis and in this Louisiana one. So I'm just so excited about being in that VIP area, having some drinks with some of these other great folks who I've seen, kicking it back and, you know, talking about their projects. Like, you know, that's at the end of the day. I know competition is whatever it is, but truly it's all a complete, you know, interconnected world and collaborative world. I mean, I'm calling people on this new project I'm doing, Jesus and Jimmy Ray, I'm calling people who I was impressed with from other films I saw in the Memphis Film Prize. And that's just how these things work. That's how this industry is. So I just look at it like amazing movie camp. Like, that's how it felt with the Memphis Film Prize. This film prize, I get to make great people who are just, you know, kicking butt and taking names. And so that's ultimately, yes, I very much would love to win the $50,000, but I am so excited about meeting the rest of the family down there on y'all's end, and the other filmmakers. I really am, and seeing the great work.
Yeah, well, and you know, that what you're seeing in Memphis is indicative of the film prize. You know, part of what's special about the film prize as a festival is that it's a fairly limited number of films and, of course, filmmakers. So it's a whole lot easier to connect with almost everybody, if not everybody, and have meaningful connections where over the festival you can actually develop a relationship and start talking about ideas. And some of the projects that are in this year are results of collaborations like that. So it's, you know.
That's what's so cool. And here's the truth. I mean, we're all in this together. Like, truly, I feel that there is no Velveeta in that statement. Like, we really are. Since I've been in the game about 10 years as a, you know, actress in my teens, like to today, the industry is swiftly changing. Like, the streaming world, you know, web series, just everything's on the move. So when you meet competent, smart, creative, committed, dependable people, that's a really great thing. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me want to get up in the morning and do this is, you know, 2 heads are better than 1, 4 heads are better than 2 kind of thing, you know? So I really look at it like that. And all of these opportunities are just, are essential to being able to kind of have these complementary styles and ultimately collaborations. So.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to look at it. I couldn't have said it better myself. And you hit the nail on the head. So I would then just say, perhaps maybe think of something. Here's what I like to do. I'm going to check the internet for questions.
Oh, the internet. I know. I'm looking. You told me to keep it up on my Facebook, but I haven't looked. We've just been in the zone.
I see we have a few people watching. If you have a question, go to the Louisiana Film Prize page and reply on the video there, or if you follow McGhee Monteith, or if you follow He Could Have Gone Pro on Facebook, ask a question, tweet us at LA Film Prize, whatever is at your deal. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for people to do that, I'd love for you to maybe give us an anecdote from production. I want either or both. I want either a nightmare moment that you had, and a soaring, you know, inspirational moment that you experienced while making the film as well. So kind of give me the either or both.
Okay. Well, when I was casting He Could Have Gone Pro, I only cast the Lamar role because I talked to Cecilia and we had that down. And I was kind of just posting and asking around, and I didn't have any tapes or anything yet. I was kind of setting up auditions, but you know, filmmakers know this. Casting's kind of the last thing you do. You don't want to get a bunch of commitments from actors when you don't have, you know, lights or a camera or those things that, you know, people tend to like when they watch a movie. So my husband, Jameson, who's a composer, who's wonderful and incredibly talented, I was kind of halfway teasing him, being like, okay, you're gonna play Lamar. Like, if I can't find anybody, like you're gonna play Lamar. So actually a literal example of the nightmare was him waking up in that nightmarish, you know, fear, saying, you've got to find somebody to play this role. You've got to find somebody to play this role. And it's funny, it's been happening again with those other ones. So I think that I'm having this repeated moment. The wonderful, wonderful moment is kind of a 2-part answer, just seeing how so many people just wanted to be a part of the film. The biggest compliment to me was a lot of the quality. I mean, everybody who worked on He Could Have Gone Pro was quality. And usually when I was reaching out and saying it's a micro budget film and all of this, the first question was, can I read it? And they would read it and they would come back with I want to be a part of the story. I want to tell the story. And I remember one of the shots, our master that we shot, Ryan and I were talking about it, and he suggested, you know, let's just get from this particular, the front door of the house, because that's all shot kind of down into this, you know, kind of vertical sized house. And he said, let's just run it. Let's just run it and have a master with the whole movement, because it does basically happen within this house. And, you know, I was acting, so I was kind of in it, but when we watched the playback, it was such a unique opportunity as a filmmaker, because you usually don't get to see things like theatrically. You usually don't get to see, you know, from A to Z how it looks. And I just watched it and heard the words coming out of these talented actors' mouths, and saw the pace and saw the rooms and saw the props. And that was the real moment for me during production, where I thought, okay, this story matters. I'm telling something that matters, and that's important. And look at what every single one of these people's specific contribution, like if each person does not do their task, you don't have a movie. The grip, the gaffer, the actor, the DP, like that's my favorite thing about filmmaking. I mean, it's not one person's movie. I mean, it does not happen without all of these people masterfully, you know, contributing and doing their specific roles so perfectly. And then of course, the first screening of He Could Have Gone Pro and all the films during the Memphis Film Prize was my first opportunity to see my work on the big screen. And that was, you know, verklempt, just tears, love, eyes. Is this real life moment for me? So magic all around, Chris, magic all around.
That is so cool. I'm glad you shared those things with us. Let's see. I'm going to jump over to the pages and check the things. We may have caught people at a weird time.
I mean, and I feel like we've been super thorough. I mean, what?
I mean,
usually like holding back with any information is not one of my usual problems. Yeah, we are at 3. We're not like after work either, but that's okay. People can always, hey, come up to me like during the film prize. If anybody is rewatching this, I know some people are, you know, are trying to be all kind of weird around artists or respectful. I am so always excited to meet people and hear if my movie has meant something to them, or if they have questions. I'm excited to answer them. So please come talk to me during the weekend. I want to meet everybody in Shreveport. I want to shake every hand, kiss every baby, high five. I want to totally just like, I want to be, what is the Shreveportian? Shreveport, what is the tense?
Shreveporter.
Shreveporter. I want to be like an adopted Shreveporter for the weekend. So
that you will be. But to wrap things up, I will remind everybody that the Louisiana Film Prize begins, prize weekend as a whole begins Thursday, September 29th. That's, I mean, shoot, right now we'll be almost ready to let people in the door a week.
How is this? So, how is that? This is crazy. Yes.
Nuts. And next Friday at 10 a.m. we start showing the movies all day long. The last blocks start around 10 p.m. and then we start back up again 9 o'clock a.m. on Saturday after everybody's had their hangover cures. And we screen all day as well. You'll have a chance to vote. You'll see all 20 films. You'll get to talk to the filmmakers, you know, see and hear the music if that's something that you want to do. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. All the information, schedules, tickets, and more at lafilmprize.com. And before we sign off, McGhee, you know what we have to do, what we have to say, right?
Oh, I know. I've got a bottle of water. I know that's not like how we really do it.
No, we can.
Gregory! I feel like he's gonna pop out at any moment with tequila. That's just like,
yeah, his hair just kind of works its way in.
That's it.
We'll go without the tequila this time, and we'll just we'll do a countdown. We'll do a 3, 2, 1, and then say it together. Okay.
All right.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Viva the Film Prize! Woo! Can't wait, guys. Thanks so much, Chris.
All right. See you later.
See y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.